and welcome into Lions Live. Starting lineup for your Lions today: Cyrus Campos at shortstop, Jaron Morris catching, Caleb Ramsey in center field, Will Curcio at third base, Denaj Williams at second base, Cade Cook in right field, Morgan Halliday DHing, Brody Genter at first base, Caleb McCarty in left field, and on the bump for the Lions, Ty Nettles.
Here we now go in the top of the first inning. Bryan Lions taking on the number 2 team in the nation currently, Georgia Gwinnett. Lions have faced Gwinnett already this year, had a 3-game series to start the year against them. Ty Nettles on the bump. Here's the pitch, and that one's off the mark for ball 1. Lions currently coming off a weekend in which they swept Truett McConnell and looking to keep that energy going through this week. As the next pitch is off the mark as well, count moves to 2-0. The 2-0 home is in there for a strike. Count moves to 2-1. The 2-1 from Nettles is low. Count moves to a dangerous 3-1 now. Here's the 3-1 offer. And that pitch is in there, so now the count will be at a full 3-2. The payoff is off the mark, ball 4. So Gwinnett will have their lead off a board off of a walk. Probably not how Ty Nettles wanted to start this game.
Obviously, a pitcher never wants to start with a walk, but Ty Nettles is a guy with powerful enough stuff to pick up strikeouts at a higher clip than others.
As that first pitch is just off the mark inside, count is now 1-0. The 1-0 is once again off the mark. Count moves to 2-0. Lions are doing a staff day today, which means that a pitcher is going to get 1 inning max. As the 2-0's inside, count moves to 3-0. If you're a pitcher and you know that you're only going to get 1 inning, you really got to go out there and seize that 1 inning. Get ahead of your batters, get quick outs. Here's the 3-0. And that pitch is off the mark, so quickly 2 aboard here for Gwinnett off of 2 walks. And the Lions find themselves in trouble. Here's the next pitch from Nettles. Batter squares to bunt, pulls back. Ball gets away. And that'll advance the runners to second and third now. Here's the 1-0 from Nettles. And that pitch is off the mark. Cal moves to 2-0.
Now, Ty, he's been getting behind all these hitters, but he's all around the zone.
The 2-0 is outside. And count will move to another 3-0. Here's the 3-0 offer, and that pitch is outside, ball 4. So it's 3 straight walks from Nettles, and now the bases are loaded, still with nobody out. And looks like there is some action in the Lions bullpen as Corey Reinhardt's going to go out for a mound visit, try to get Nettles in the zone. We are now back from the mound visit. Still nobody out. Bases loaded for Gwinnett. Here's the next pitch from Nettles. And that one's in there. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. The 0-1 is swung on and fouled off. So a quick turnaround for Ty Nettles as he walked the first 3, getting behind in the counts early. Now he's up 0-2 now. Big opportunity right here to record an out. Here's the 0-2. And that pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. So good job right there from Ty Nettles, walking the first 3 and then striking the next guy out on 3 pitches. See if he can repeat that right here. Here's the pitch, and that one's in there for strike 1. Here's the 0-1, and that pitch is upside and is outside and up. Count now evens out at 1-1. The 1-1 is swung on and missed, blew right by him. Count moves to 1-2 now. Here's the 1-2 home. Swung on and fouled off over the third base dugout. Here's the next 1-2. And that pitch is swung on and hit high and fairly deep to left, and that ball is going to get out. So just like that, Gwinnett grabs an early lead of 4-0 off of a grand slam. And after that grand slam, Jordan Day is going to walk out to the mound, and it looks like Nettles' day will be over.
And out of the pen is Eli Walker.
So let's see if Walker can get out of this jam. Lions currently down now 4-0 here in the first, and we'll be back after this break. Here we now go after the pitching change, still here in the top of the first inning. Currently 1 out. Score is 4-0 off of a grand slam from Georgia Gwinnett, and new face on the mound for the Lions is Eli Walker. Walker fires the first pitch in for ball 1.
Infield has a heavy pull side shift on here.
Yes, they do. Genter is the only fielder currently on the right side. Williams, Campos, and Curcio all lined up on the left. As that pitch is in there for strike 1, count now even. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and chopped toward the left side. Glove by Campos on a backhand. Thrower to first in time. So finally, there's out number 2 on a great backhanded play right there from the shortstop Campos.
We've really seen some special stuff from Campos over these past couple of games, especially defensively.
Next pitch from Walker is off the mark for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and chopped once again to the left side. Another great backhanded play by Campos, who throws it across, but that throw will not be in time. And now there's a runner aboard with 2 outs.
You know, if he didn't stumble after he gloved it, he would have had a real shot at making that play.
Absolutely. We've seen him make that play a lot of times this year. So still 2 outs here, runner at first. Lions 1 out away from getting out of this inning that's already kind of gotten out of control, as the infield is going to shift towards a lefty pull side. Next pitch from Walker is outside corner for strike 1. And a pickoff attempt. No good. Runner back safely. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and fouled straight back. Count moves to 0-2 now. And another pickoff attempt, and oh, they almost caught the runner napping, but he just gets back in time. Really good move right there from Eli Walker. That throw just off the mark. Genter couldn't get the tag on him in time. And another pickoff attempt. That one not even close. No good. Runner is back safely. Next pitch is off the mark. Count moves to 1-2 now. Runner at first tried to deke. He went towards second, but then immediately retreated. Here's the 1-2, and that pitch is in there. Strike 3. So Walker comes out of the bullpen and gets the job done, limiting the damage. But that damage has already been done. Score is now 4-0 off of a grand slam from Gwinnett. See how the Lions respond after this break. Here we now go in the bottom of the first inning. First batter for the Lions is Cyrus Campos, who's looking to start the Lions off strong as they're currently down 4-0. As he'll look at the first pitch in there for strike one. Here's the 0-1 to Campos, and he'll look at a fastball high. Count evens out at 1-1. The 1-1 offer is swung on and hit on a line, and that one's going to fall in the gap between center and right. Campos on his way to second, and he will get there sliding safely. So the Lions' leadoff man is aboard with a double. Great way to start off the inning hitting for the Lions. And now the batter will be Jaron Morris. Morris is currently the Appalachian Athletic Conference Baseball Player of the Week, coming off a great weekend against Truett McConnell, as he'll look at the first pitch outside the zone for ball one. Here's the 1-0, and a breaker that is off the mark. Count moves to 2-0 now. The 2-0 home is upstairs and in. Count moves to 3-0 now. The pitch is in there for a strike. Count moves to 3-1. The 3-1 offer is check swung on, but that one is in the zone. Count now moves to a full 3-2. Here's the payoff. And that pitch is swung on and foul tipped in the mitt. And that'll be strike three. So with Morris retired and with a runner at second, in will step Caleb Ramsey, who hit the walk-off hit against Truett McConnell on Saturday. Here's the first pitch to Ramsey, and he'll swing and miss. It will look like a changeup. Here's the 0-1, and that pitch is tapped foul at the plate. Count moves to 0-2. Here's the 0-2 home, and that pitch is in the dirt. Count moves to 1-2. The 1-2 is a pitch that is also off the mark. Count moves to an even 2-2 now. Here's the 2-2 home, and that pitch is swung on and missed. That ball in the dirt. Throwing to first will be in time. And now there are two gone. So now 2 gone, runner still at second, and the batter will be Will Curcio. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit toward the right side. That one caught by the right fielder, and there's a third out. So Lions leave a man stranded at second, a leadoff double from Cyrus Campos. They currently trail 4-0. We'll be back after this break. Here we now go in the top of the second inning. Score is currently 4-0. Gwinnett leads. Eli Walker back on the mound for the Lions. First pitch is fouled off at the plate. Gwinnett has 9-1-2 coming up here in these next 3 batters. Here's the 0-1 from Walker. Breaking ball that is just off the plate. Count moves to 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed, kind of chopped at it. It's a bat, not a sword, bud. And that'll move the count to 1-2 now. The 1-2 is in the dirt. Count evens out at 2-2. The 2-2 home is swung on and hit foul toward the third base side. Here's the next 2-2. And once again, kind of a half swing fouled off toward the third base side. So we'll once again do it again. Here's another 2-2, and that pitch way off the mark. Count now full 3-2. Here's the payoff, and that pitch is upstairs. So once again, Gwinnett has their leadoff hitter on, and now they're back to the top of their lineup. Fortunately, we do not have the names for the Gwinnett players, but we do have their numbers. Number 2 is currently batting. He walked his last AB. Walker's first pitch to the leadoff is in there for a strike. Infield and double play depth. And a pickoff attempt, no good. Runner back safely. Wind is currently howling, blowing from left to right. The 0-1 is in the dirt, count now even. Still nobody out, runner at first here. Gwinnett currently leads 4-0. Here's Walker's 1-1, and that's in there for a strike. Count moves to 1-2. And another pickoff attempt. Once again, no good. Runner is back safely. The 1-2 is hit sharply over the third baseman, Curcio. That one's going to rattle around in the left field corner. Cardi grabs it, throw to the cut Campos, who will hold it. That will bring in a run, and it'll be an RBI double. So now the score is 5-0 Georgia Gwinnett. Runner at second, still nobody out, and the batter will be number 10. Here's Walker's first pitch, and it's fouled right back at us. And that'll put the count to 0-1 now. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and popped up on the infield. Williams, the second baseman, calling everybody off, and he will squeeze it for the first out. So now one gone, runner at second, and the batter will be number 3. Here's Walker's pitch, and it is inside and low. Count moves to 1-0. The 1-0. Runner takes off to third. Throw down to third from Jaron is in time and on the money. And that's a We do apologize for the pause in the live stream. We were having some technical difficulties. Bases are currently loaded for the Lions. Caleb McCarty's at the plate, counts 1-1 here with one out. Here's the 1-1 offer, and that pitch is in the dirt. Count moves to 2-1 now. The 2-1 is outside. Count moves to 3-1 now. There was a mound visit as well as we were having technical difficulties, so there's probably some action in the Gwinnett bullpen as Carty sends that one foul down the left field line. Here's the payoff, and that pitch is half swung on, and they're going to say he did not go, and that'll be a bases loaded walk. Lions will scratch their first run. Next batter for the Lions is Cyrus Campos, who hit a double his last AB. First pitch to Campos is swung on and hit high and deep, but also well fouled towards right field. Ball was hit a mile high. So now that'll move the count to 0-1. The 0-1 is outside. Count moves to 1-1. The 1-1 is upstairs. Count moves to 2-1. The 2-1 home is cut on and fouled. Count moves to 2-2 now. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and hit high and deep, but also well fouled towards left field. And that'll keep the count even at 2-2 here with one out, bases loaded. Gwinnett currently leading 5-1.
Campos is apparently seeing it well. Those two foul balls were hit really well.
Here's another 2-2, and that pitch is swung on and missed, so a big strikeout for Gwinnett. And now the batter will be the catcher, Jaron Morris. Cardi on first, Genter on second, Halliday on third. Morris at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit high to right field. That one drifting foul, and the first baseman will put the glove on it for the third out. So a good job by Georgia Gwinnett to limit damage. Lions scratch their first runner across. Score is currently 5-1 as we head to the top of the third. So here we now go in the top of the third inning. Chris Hall on the mound for the Lions. And he's up quickly 0-2 here against this Gwinnett hitter. As the next one is off the hands in the air towards the shortstop Campos, who will glove it for the first out. So now with one Gwinnett hitter retired, next pitch from Hall to the next Gwinnett hitter is popped up right behind the infield. Campos calling for it, and he will make a nice grab out there for out number 2. So quickly, 2 Gwinnett hitters gone here for Chris Hall. Here's the next pitch, and that's in there for strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and chopped, and he beat the shift on that one, as that one will get into the outfield for a base hit. So that Gwinnett hitter gets a hit. Still 2 outs, runner at first. Next pitch from Hall is off the mark. Count is now 1-0 here. And next pitch is hit high and deep. That one's going to go up against the wall in left field. Carty will get it in quickly and will save a run. So now runners at second and third for Gwinnett. Still 2 outs. Chris Hall still in a good opportunity to get out of this inning as this Gwinnett hitter, Cade Looking, his last AB. Hall's pitch is fouled off over the third base dugout. Score is currently 5-1. Gwinnett leads. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and hit foul towards left field. And Hall finds himself ahead 0-2 now. Here's the 0-2. And that one off the mark. Count moves to 1-2 now. The 1-2 from Hall is swung on and hit high to left field. McCarty ranging back, and that one is going to get out. Gwinnett definitely taking advantage of the field here as their 2 home runs have been Brian bombs. So now the score will be 8-1. Still 2 outs. Next pitch from Hall is off the mark. Count moves to 1-0. One zero is chopped. Foul down the first base side. The 1-1 is a breaking ball, a very filthy breaking ball, but that one is off the mark. Count now moves to 2-1. The 2-1 is swung on and hit foul over the third base dugout, and that will put twos all across the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. The 2-2 home is hit right back up the middle for a base hit. So Gwinnett will have a runner at first here with 2 outs.
Chris has done a good job of pitching in contact here. They're just hitting the ball well.
And there's a pickoff attempt. No good. A runner is back safely. Hall's first pitch to this next Gwinnett batter is off the mark. Count moves to 1-0. The 1-0 runner fake steals. And that pitch appeared to be off the mark as well. Count moves to 2-0. Runner does take off this time. Throw down from Morris. Just not in time. Runner in safely at second. The 3-0 from Hall is in there for strike one. Runner at second here, 2 outs. Count is 3-1. Here's a 3-1 from Hall, and that pitch is off the mark. Ball 4. So Hall did a very good job getting a quick 2 outs, but has quickly found himself in a lot of trouble, already given up 3, and now runners at first and second with 2 outs. Next pitch from Hall is fouled over the first base dugout. Here's the 0-1, and that pitch is right down Broadway, strike 2. The 0-2 runners take off. Throw down from Morris, and that one's going to sail into the outfield. Nobody was really at second. Williams had to get over there in a hurry. And that'll cause a run to score, and the runner will head to third. Here's the 1-2 from Hall, a breaking ball that almost gets the batter. But that'll move the count to 2-2. The 2-2 is swung on and fouled straight back. The next 2-2 is swung on and missed, strike three. So Hall finally gets out of the inning, giving up 4. Score is now 9-1. We'll be back after this break. We are now here in the bottom of the third inning. First batter for the Lions is Caleb Ramsey, who will look at a fastball outside for ball one. The 1-0 is chopped toward the right side, gloved by the second baseman, on to first, and there's first out. So with Ramsey retired, the batter will now be Will Curcio. Curcio had a hard hit ball his last AB, but just right to the right fielder. First pitch to Curcio is inside and tight. Count is now 1-0. The 1-0 home is in there for a strike. Count moves to 1-1. The 1-1 home is fouled off the catcher's mask. And that'll move the count to 1-2 now. The 1-2 home is check swung, and they're going to say he went around. So quickly 2 gone for the Lions, and now the batter will be Denaj Williams. Williams currently second in the nation in home runs. Here's the first pitch to Williams. A breaking ball that is off the plate. Count is 1-0. The 1-0 is a big swing and a miss. Count moves to 1-1. The 1-1 to Williams is hit high toward the left side. That one is going to go out of play. And we'll move the count to 1-2. The 1-2 is upstairs. Count now evens out at 2-2. So currently 2s across the scoreboard, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Williams, and that pitch is, oh, he got rung up on it. Ball looked outside and low. Ump did not think so. He thought it was in the zone, and that'll be the 3rd out. We'll be back after this break. Here we now go in the top of the 4th inning. New face on the mound for the Lions, Logan Sullivan, as he'll fire a strike in there. The 0-1 is in there for strike 2. The 0-2 is swung on and hit on a line. That one's going to fall and actually going to roll to the wall as it got past Cook, who wasn't able to cut it off, and that'll be a leadoff double. Next pitch from Sully is chopped foul down the third base side. Next pitch from Sullivan is grounded foul down the third base side again. And the count will quickly move to 0-2. The 0-2 is chopped foul over the third base dugout. The next 0-2 is a breaking ball in the dirt. No bite from the batter. Count moves to 1-2. One-two from Sullivan is swung on and hit high and deep to left. No movement out there from Carty as that ball is well gone and hits the top of the batting cages. Next pitch from Sullivan is in there for strike one. Next pitch is off the mark. Count moves to 1-1. Next pitch is in the dirt. Count moves to 2-1. Score is currently 11-1. Gwinnett leads. As Sully's next pitch is off the mark, count moves to 3-1 now. The 3-1 is a breaking ball in there for strike two. Usually you see fastballs on a 3-1 count, but Sully going with the slider right there, and it worked out as the payoff pitch is hit high and deep to right and well gone. That one almost clearing the top of the trees. Score is now 12-1. So score is currently 12-1 now. Gwinnett leads as Sully's next pitch is grounded toward the shift. Glove by Campos. Throw on to first. And there's the first out. And the batter bunting for an unknown reason, and he'll reach first and will actually go to second as that throw got over. Gwinnett up 12-1 and bunting the ball like teams do. So now runner at second, 1 out. Lions have some action in their bullpen. Next pitch is off the mark. Count moves to 1-0. The 1-0 is chopped foul. Like maybe it hit off of the Gwinnett batter's foot. Next pitch from Sullivan is grounded fair down the first base line, they're going to say. Another run will come in to score as the Gwinnett hitter will not try for 3, but will have an RBI double. Score is now 13-1. Next pitch from Sullivan is in there for strike 1. Next pitch is hit through the left side for a base hit. Third base. Oh, and Cardi having some trouble picking up the ball. Still no movement. Runner will be held to a single. So now runners at first and third with 1 out. Infield shifted into double play depth. And a pickoff attempt, no good. Runner back safely. Next pitch is popped up on the left side, and that one will get out of play. Count moves to 0-2. The 0-1 is hit sharply, and that one will find the grass as well and roll to the wall. Another run will score. Gwinnett's third base coach holding up the stop sign, and the batter will coast into second. Still only 1 out here. Score is 14-1. And now the head coach, Jordan Day, going out, and that will be the end of the day for Logan Sullivan. And the new pitcher for the Lions will be Jackson Black. We'll be back after this pitching change. Here we now go, still in the top of the fourth inning. New face on the mound for the Lions is Jackson Black. One out, runners at second and third. Here's the pitch. And that one's in there for strike one. And the next pitch is lined into left field for a base hit. 2 runs will score, and that will be a double. Lions now trail 16-1. Next pitch will get through, and at this point, they're just they're kicking a dead horse. Score is now 17-1. Next pitch from Jackson Black sails to the backstop. Runner moves up to third. Still one out here. Score 17-1. And the next pitch is in there for a strike. Count evens up at 1-1 now.
Probably up there.
Next pitch is grounded. Campos gloves. Throw on to first is in time. That will bring another run across. Score is now 18-1. So Gwinnett going to their bench for pinch hitters as this game is kind of already out of the way. Scores 18-1 here in the fourth. Next pitch from Jackson Black is in there for strike one. Once again, having some technical difficulties over here. Count currently 2-2 here with 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and that's outside. Count moves to 3-2. The 3-2 offer is hit sharply, and that will get past the first baseman Genter and roll to the wall. And that will be another double for Gwinnett. Next pitch from Jackson Black is in there for a strike. Next pitch is swung on and hit toward the left side. That one bobbled by Didi, and throw on to first is not in time. So now runners will be at first and third. Still 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. Next pitch from Black is outside. The 1-0 is swung on and missed. Count moves to 1-1. The 3-1 is swung on and hit sharply past the glove of the third baseman Curcio, which will once again bring in another run for the 10th run of the inning. So now the runners will be at first and second here. Still 2 outs. Another pinch hitter for Gwinnett. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped up. And that one's going to get out of play over the third base dugout. Here's the 0-1 as that pitch is off the mark. Count moves to 1-1. Here's the 1-1. And that pitch is upstairs. Count moves to 2-1. Not really sure if there's action in the Lions bullpen. Don't really see anything going on as the next pitch is chopped foul over the third base dugout. Count will even out at 2-2. Here's the 2-2 home. As that pitch is upstairs, count is now full. Next pitch is roped down the line, fair ball. 2 runs, well, 1 run is going to score. Next pitch from Jackson Black is inside. Here we now go in the bottom of the 4th inning. First batter for the Lions is Cade Cook. Score is currently 22-1, but no lead is safe at this park. By the end of this inning, the score could be 22-21. As Cook looks at a strike. Next pitch is in the dirt, and they're going to say he went around, so count now moves to 0-2. And the 0-2 is check swung at. They're going to say he did not go, so count moves to 1-2. The 1-2 is in the dirt. Count moves to 2-2. Here's the 2-2 home. Swung on and fouled at the plate, so we will do it again. The 2-2 is swung on and hit up the middle, and that one is going to fall for a base hit. Cook's second hit of the day, and now the Lions are set to come back. So pinch hitter here for the Lions, and it'll be Big Zach Scary Terry. Terry currently on rehab as he'll foul that one off. Next pitch to Terry is swung on and missed. Count moves to 0-2. The 0-2 is chopped foul toward the third base side. Here's an 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Zach Terry strikes out, and that'll bring up Brody Genter. First pitch to Genter is outside and low. And next pitch is in there for strike 1. Count evens out at 1-1. Next pitch to Genter is swung on and missed. Count now at 2-2. That pitch is in the dirt. Count will now move to a full. 3-2. Here's the payoff. And that pitch is swung on and missed. Now 2 outs. And the Lions will have a new face come to the plate. Jackson Blue. Here's the first pitch to Blue, and he swings and hits a high fly ball to left field, and that one is going to be foul. So a really good swing right there from Jackson Blue. Need to keep that ball fair. Here's the 0-1, and that pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. The 0-2 is in there for strike 3. So Blue strikes out looking, but the Lions showing a little bit of fight as they leave a runner stranded at first. Score is 22-1. We'll be back after this break. Here we now go in the top of the 5th inning. There has been some position changes. Jackson Blue is now in left. Wes Davis is at third. Jaron Morris moves to first base, and Big Kitty Evan Robinson behind the plate. Another new face on the mound for the Lions as well, Ryan Ely, as he quickly gets ahead of this Gwinnett batter, count 0-2. And that pitch is in there, strike 3. Ryan Ely comes out of the pen and immediately records a strikeout. So now 1 out. Next pitch from Ely is in there for a strike. The 0-1 is in there, strike 2. The 0-2 is popped up toward the right side. Morris running out of room, and that one will be foul. Next pitch is past the diving Davis, and that will be a single now. 1 out, runner at first. Next pitch from Ely is rocketed foul down the third base side. Count currently 0-1 here. 1 out, runner at first. Here's the next pitch, and that one's in there, strike 2. Here's the 0-2 home, swinging a pop-up right behind second base. Williams calling everybody off, and he will squeeze it for out number 2. So runner still at first here now with 2 outs. Next pitch from Ely is inside and gets to the backstop. That will allow the runner to move up to second. Here's the 1-0. And that pitch is off the mark as well. Count moves to 2-0. Next pitch from Ely is in there for strike 1. Next pitch is swung on and missed. And that'll move the count to 2-2 now. Here's the 2-2. Pitch is swung on and fouled down the first base side. Here's the next 2-2 from Ely, and that pitch is just off the mark. Count will now move to a full 3-2 here. And that pitch is outside, so it will be a walk. Runners now at first and second here with 2 outs. Next pitch from Ely is rocketed up the middle, and that one's going to bounce up against the wall. And actually, it's going to slip through a crack in the fence. And that will allow 1 run to score. Runners now at second and third here with 2 outs. So Lions still have yet to put a 0 up against Gwinnett, as the scoreboard reads 4-1, 4-13-1. Gwinnett going with another pinch hitter here. Here's the next pitch from Ely, and that pitch is in there for strike 1. The 0-1 is half swung on, but no check. They're going to say he didn't go around. Count now 1-1. And that one's in there. Count now 1-2. The 1-2 is check swung on. And they're going to say he went strike 3. Ryan Ely only gives up one of the 2 pitchers to do that so far. Score is currently 23-1 in this nail biter. We'll be back after this break. Here we now go in the bottom of the 5th inning. Score is currently 23-1. Georgia Gwinnett leads. And the batter for the Lions will be Cyrus Campos. Also appears I have lost my commentating partner. I am not sure where he went. Here's the next pitch from what appears to be a new pitcher for Gwinnett. And it's outside for ball 1. Next pitch is outside. Count moves to 2-0. Here's the 2-0 to Campos as he will take a fastball up. And that'll move the count to 3-0. Sorry for the delay. We once again had technical difficulties with our system. Batter is Denaj Williams. Currently runners at first and second here, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Base hit. And Lions will scratch across their second run of the game as the score moves to 23-2.
I think it's safe to say that the comeback has started.
Absolutely. And now another new batter for the Lions, Logan Stradley. Stradley's. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Okay, thank you. This is Stradley's first AB after coming off of an injury. First pitch to Stradley is off the mark. So the situation is still the same. Runners at first and second here, 2 outs. Here's the 1-0. And that is low, ball 2. The 2-0 is off the plate. Count moves to 3-0 now. And that pitch is in there for a strike. Count moves to 3-1. And that pitch is off the mark. So now the bases will be loaded here with 2 outs. And the batter will be Zach Terry. And the first pitch of Terry is swinging a miss. Runner trying to come home on the pass ball, and he's safe. And a little bit of a collision at the plate. Looks like everybody's okay, though. So now the score is 23-3. Lions get it back to 20. Take your wins. So now runners are at second and third here with 2 outs. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and chopped foul toward the third base dugout. Here's the 0-2 and a breaker that almost runs in and gets him, but that will move the count to 1-2. Next pitch is upstairs. Count will even out at 2-2. The 2-2, and that one will hit Terry. So now the bases will be once again loaded with 2 outs. And the batter will be Evan Robinson, a.k.a. Big Kitty. And it looks like Gwinnett's going to have a mound visit here. Here we now go after the mound visit. Base is currently loaded here with 2 outs. Here's the first pitch. Swung on and hit off of the foot of Kitty. And that'll put the count at 0-1. Next pitch is hit on the ground to the shortstop, who will throw it on to second for the third out. Lions do scratch 2 across. Score is currently 23-3 as we move into the top of the 6th. Here we now go in the top of the 6th inning. Ryan Ely back out for another inning of work here for the Lions. There is a position change at second base. Lane Brooks going in for Denaj Williams. Score is currently 23-3. Ely's first pitch is inside. The 1-0 is hit high to right center field. And it appears we also have a change out in right, as that catch was made by Logan Stradley. So now one gone. Next pitch is in there for strike one. Next pitch is off the mark. Count evens out at 1-1. The 1-1 offer is popped up into shallow center field. Campos calling for it, and he will glove it for the second out. So now quickly 2 gone here in the 6th. And Gwinnett going with another pinch hitter here. Next pitch from Ely is in there for strike one. Next pitch is in there for strike two. The 0-2 is chopped foul.